everybody, welcome back, and it is now it's prompt 13 of the July Junk Journal Challenge, which is hosted by Leigh at Leigh Creates, or Leigh's Art and Junk Journal Wonderland. Today's prompt is map. Now, in June this year, I did a challenge, and as part of that challenge, I created a page using a Turkish Map Fold. And basically, a Turkish Map Fold is a way of folding a piece of paper or a map down into a smaller area, but being able to open it to see the whole thing. So this is the template I made when I was doing the challenge last month, and I made this from a square of paper. Now, interestingly, I've since discovered that you can also make a Turkish Map Fold or complete a Turkish Map Fold from a rectangular piece of paper. So here you will see this is an A4 or letter size sheet. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And funnily enough, I have a map. Now this is quite an old map. It has come from a National Geographic magazine. And it says it's a 1968. Oh my goodness. That was the year I was born. There you go. So when I say it's an old map, it's an old map. But anyway, it's the North Atlantic Ocean. The reason I was interested in doing a Turkish Map Fold with a rectangular piece of paper rather than a square today is that this has already got folds, and as you can see, this has been folded where it's gone into the magazine originally. And so if I was to cut a square from this, I would already have fold lines on it, which I think would make the Turkish Map Fold quite difficult. So I'm going to have a look at this and cut a rectangle out so that I can start, and I will show you how to do the Turkish Map Fold using a rectangle. Okay, so as I said, I cut this to A4 size, which I think is also known as letter size, and I've cut it so that one of the existing map folds is right in the middle, and that is where I need my first fold to make the Turkish Map Fold. So if you're doing this with a rectangular piece of paper, you fold in the middle lengthways, and then leaving that fold there, you come across and fold it the other way. So you're basically folding into 4. When you're doing this, you want your creases nice and sharp. All right. So once you've done that, you open it up and you bring, put something sticky on there, you bring the top corner, so you've got your fold along the top and the open edge at the bottom, and you bring your folded edge down to the middle. Again, make this creases nice and firm, and you're going to do the same the other side. Excuse me today, I've had a little bit of a cold and sore throat. Right, so you've got triangles there, and then you bring this side in, and again you're meeting at that middle crease. So you've got quite a lot of bulk here now, but you want to make sure that that fold is nice and crisp. Okay, and again you're going to do exactly the same on this side. Now, open it up and turn it this way, and you can see you have the 2 big diagonal lines here and here, and you want to reinforce those folds. So you want to bring the top down And again, crease it, make sure it's nice and sharp. Open it up, and you can go the other way as well. Now, once you've done that, you're going to flip your paper over and fold it in half this way again. So you're folding long side over. Now, this, right, so once you've done all those folds, you open up your map like this. Now, I have found it easiest if you then bring this piece down and just from, so that the two pieces on each side, you reinforce that fold this way so that you make sure that's folding inwards. And the same with the bottom. So you're not doing this middle section here, you're just doing the two edge sections. Easier to show you on this one. So you're reinforcing this bit and this bit. So you're folding this over like this and these two pieces. Okay. Then if you start at this end, you fold that in, and then this one goes back. So you're folding to the same crease line. And then again, you have a crease line in the middle there, and you come across and down, and there's your first side. Now that might look complicated, but when you're doing it, it sort of all folds in. So if I do the same this side, I'm going to be going in, and then that little triangle there comes back along that fold line, and then the middle one goes in, and that last one comes down. And what you'll end up with is something that looks like this. And once you've got it folded like that, give them a big crease. Now I'll show you that again. The other way to do it, to think about it, is to bring your center fold in, and then where your small fold is here, this diagonal one, this is the top of that diagonal, so this one goes in right to the middle, this one pleats like that each side, and there you will see that shape I was talking about. And the same the other side, and it all pleats in. Now it just takes a little bit of manipulation and fiddling. Once you've done it once, you kind of go, oh, of course, that's how it works. I'll show you on here in case this is easier to see. So you've got all your folds, you've brought your top down and just creased along those outside pieces. The same at the bottom, crease along the outside pieces. These two middle, so this big middle fold comes in, and the top, let me do this for you. Let me find, oh, tip with a marker. So on each side, this fold here comes in, and this one and this one fold in. So you're going in, in, in. And if you can get those three like that, you're on a winner. So your big middle fold and these two ends of your diagonal fold inwards. So in and in. And the little ones pleat over the top. And it all folds in. Okay, that one's folded the other way, like that. You can have them either way, it doesn't matter. All right, I've I've probably completely confused you there, but hopefully not too much. So there's my Turkish map fold, and what then happens is that you can hold each side and pull it out, and you can see your whole map. And as I say, once you've got it creased, it will fold in and out quite easily. Now, when I did this last time, this is done with a square one, so you can see the only difference is that this piece is longer if you have a rectangular one. So if you start with a rectangular piece of paper, this piece here is longer. If you start with a square one, it's shorter. What you can then do if you want to is to fold this edge in. So if I wanted to do it with that one, I would be folding that piece in, and you can make a little band across here to tuck it under. And I'll link my other video in the description box below, so if you want to see how I did that with the square one, you can have a look. So that's one way of doing it if you want it smaller again. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to use another part of the map. Although this is a double-sided one, I'm going to be using another part of the map, or maybe something else to coordinate, and I'm going to cut a piece that is the same size as this to make a cover. And so my cover will be on, and I'll be able just to open out like that. You'll see what I mean. Okay, I feel like I'm not making a lot of sense today, so I'm sorry if I've confused you. But here's my map. I'm going to attach this. This is the back of my, or the base of my flip journal. And I'm going to put my map in here, because what you will see is when we attach these, you can also use them as a little pocket. So I'm going to pop this right in the back here, and when I'm putting it in, what I want to do is to make sure that when it opens up, the map is up the right way. And I've got to be honest and say I chose this little bit of the map because this is England here, and that's actually where I was born and grew up. So for me, that's just a little reminder. All right, so I'm going to attach that in there, but I've also found, and I don't want this piece of the map showing because this is upside down. But I've found this, and this is a page taken from a magazine, and it's got lots of lovely fish on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw around this and capture some of those fish. And the other thing I may do is to cut a couple out and stick them on the background here before I pop this in. So let's do that, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm being a little bit mindful of where the fish faces are, and just seeing if I can get as many as possible on here. Let's find a pencil with a nib on. So as you saw, when I cut this cover piece, I left a bit extra length here and folded it over to give it a little bit of strength, and then inserted the eyelet and a little ribbon to use as a tab. And I'm going to stick this, as I say, at the back of my book here. Now, I don't know whether there's room for any of these fish. Oh, look, that one. I wonder if we could put that there. Ooh, if I position that right, it will look like a continuation of that fish. I don't actually think, I was hoping that there would be room for a couple of these, but in all honesty, I think I'm going to lose too much of them. So they might look quite nice on here. Might be able to add those on there. Or do something else with them. Right, I'm going to stick this fish on here just because I think that'll be fun. And I don't know whether I want to do anything else on there or not. Let me just think for a moment. These are water-soluble crayons. I'm just going to use the dark blue one of these to create a bit of a border around this page just before I stick the map fold down. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just to grab a paintbrush and just sort of activate that crayon, and it just sort of softens it. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to stick this on. I'm going to use a reasonably strong glue and just go around that one side. Now obviously it's important with this that you don't get glue in any of these folds. Now I'm just going to line my fish up carefully there. There we go. I'll just give that a press down. And then when you pull this, what should happen? Yay! There you are. The map folds all the way out. And I'll show you that. I'm aware that was probably off camera, so I'll show you that when we finish. But what I'm going to do now is something with these fish. And I'm going to show you how you can also use this as a little tuck spot or pocket. So we've got a Turkish map fold here with our lovely map inside, and what we can do is just pop these in there, and they're going to stay in there when we close our map up, close our book up. There we go. So, oh, one more thing to do, of course, is to find our our tag for the day. Here we go. I've got all sorts of lines on this piece of paper because I was trying to work out the weeks, and the first time I did it I got it completely wrong. So, because we're not we don't have a prompt for the weekends, and yeah, I just got it completely messed up the first time. Right, pulling out my little ink pads again. There we go. I think I'll pop it up here. There we go. So our prompt today was map. And if I put that there, I can show you that we have a Turkish map fold that comes all the way out, and inside we have a couple of little tags or bookmarks, whatever you want to call them, and then our map folds back up and they pop in. There we go. I hope that's been I hope that's been understandable today. I feel like I haven't had a very good day of explaining things. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them below. I would do my best to answer them. Turkish map folds are great. They just do take a little bit of fiddling with but as I say, once you've got those folds in the right place, they fold and they unfold quite easily. So don't be deterred. Just keep going and keep practicing with them. Once you get them, you'll get it right. I hope that's been understandable. I hope you've had a good morning, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a bit better explanation of what I'm doing. But for now, ka kite ano. Thank you for watching.